This year's song contest for its theme is Hele Poina ʻOle ke Keiki. A beloved child is a lei, never forgotten. Our children, our lei, are so precious to us because in them are all our hopes, our dreams for the future. And our hopes are that as they learn from us, as the makua, that life cycle changes over and they become the makua and they become the kupuna. When we think of mele, mele for us is our means of communicating. And it's communicating through time and space. It's conveying, perhaps over 100 years ago, an event, people, places that continue into the future through the eloquence of the composer. We know there are mele written for all kinds of things, from the mundane, simple, to the deeper, eventful. The focus this year, of course, are children and how all that aloha for our keiki are communicated, are expressed through mele for keiki. And in all the songs this year, I think we'll see how each composer put together feelings, aloha especially, memories of that particular keiki, be it their own child, or be it a grandchild, or a niece or a nephew, whatever the case may be. Oftentimes it is a makana, it is a gift for that child that will reflect all that kind of aloha that embraces the child.
As one would place specific flowers into a lei, the words that were used to craft this lei or this mele were carefully selected. And this year our 10 mele are beautiful mele or lei that these composers were able to express their love for their mo'opuna, their child, their keiki, or even niece, nephew. He no no ka'iulani is a mele written by an aunt for her niece. Specifically, Majesty Queen Lili'uokalani wrote this for her niece, Princess Ka'iulani. Lili'uokalani speaks of the uakoko'ula. She speaks of the rainbow, symbols of royalty that are there, noting the love that not only she but nature has for this little princess. One mele, Nene Hanua Ala, was written by Mary Jane Montano, a famed composer of the early 20th century. Kiao Naulu, which is the Naulu rain. And so she, like Queen Lili'uokalani, highlights forces of nature. Puamohala is a wonderful classic mele written by David Nape, who wrote many songs with Mary Jane Montano. David Nape is ohana to me, and I know that when his daughter passed away, our family went to sing Puamohala for Puamohala's funeral. We think about these mele, these lei that were composed for children, and we think of them as being very happy mele.
My Sweet Sweeting, a beautiful lilting classic. According to one source,
It is a mele composed for a mother's love at the loss of her child when the child was taken away from her. But it is one of those beautiful classic mele from which the composer is unknown. We don't know who the composer is. And another group of mele that are being used are mele written by grandparents. Two of our mele were written by Baina Mossman, a famed composer in our Hawaiian music history. And one of the mele familiar to us is Kapuo'i, made famous really by many folks, but I think this generation would know is Rokumaka Vivo ʻOle's version of the mele. And this is a token of a grandmother's love. I think that's a nice way of summarizing this. Mapuana Ku'aloha was written by Baina Mossman in honor of her granddaughter, who is now Mrs. Baina Chun. She, as many composers of the period, use English words to highlight. And it's similar to that selection of a perfect flower that would go into your lei. So ku'u sweet, she refers to her granddaughter. Ku'aloha was a mele written by Reverend Ida Kili'iokalani Chun. And Auntie Kili'i is now 90, and she's, of all of the composers, she's the only composer still with us of all of the mele that we have for this year's song contest. And Auntie wrote this song when her granddaughter was a little older. She was, I believe, in middle school. Her Auntie Ida was working as a kupuna in the Department of Education and began composing mele. And she wrote this mele, ku'olohe, for her granddaughter. So Nokalei Tubarose Aloha is a mele written by Mrs. Kavena Pukui and set to music by Auntie Irmgard Aluli. Mrs. Pukui wrote mele for her grandchildren. She said, I couldn't compose music for this mele, so I asked my friend Irmgard if she'd compose music. So the two of them got together. This song has never been performed publicly and has not been recorded. So this is kind of its debut of mele. Pauahi Nano is a mele. It was written by Paahana Wiggins, mother of Mary Kavena Pukui. And she was the legal hanai of kahu hanai of Auntie Pat Namaka Bacon. So within this mele, you've woven these floral words of love for this child coming to you. And again, forecasting a future love, an ongoing love from parent to child.
He Punahele no Oi, written by Albert Nahale'a, is a beautiful mele that shares a father's aloha for his lei, his daughter. We're so fortunate to have asked Kihe Nahale'a, the grandson of the composer, to add a few lines to include in this mele.
Composing mele is to sharing information as we write letters. Today we send emails, we can Twitter something, but if you go back a few generations, all they had was their ability to share their thoughts through mele. They were able to paint pictures, they were able to take photographs with these mele, sharing that not only parents and grandparents had this love, but even these forces of nature loved this child.
Did you know that the Kamehameha schools for boys opened in 1887? How about in 1888 when the streets of Honolulu lit up with electricity for the very first time? And in 1975, Voyaging Canoe Hokulea was launched.
Don't forget that in 1998, Pika Moriwaki was born. That's me.
We live in exciting times. My friends and I can access any type of information about the entire world with a simple click. We have all this knowledge at our fingertips, but what does that mean?
Generations before us have kept knowledge safe in stories, songs, and in books so that one day a student like me would discover it.
Or me. So if we had to help create a Hawaii for the next generation, what would it look like? What would it feel like?
In this show, Kapa'alama students will go out with cameras and speak with educators, practitioners, and mentors who will help us answer these difficult questions.
Together, we'll discover what these values mean to us and our future.
This year's pre-show, we will look at some concepts that shape our future: sustainability, business, leadership, and technology. We will go out and get a better understanding of what these words mean and how together they bring value beyond the classroom.
History is more than just important dates in our past. History is happening right now, today. What will the next generation say about 2013 or even 2020? Join us for the next hour as we try to weave together these ideas in order to create something that we can pass on for the future generation.
Okay, hi, I'm Momi Tolentino and I'm the Freshman Song Contest Director for the class of 2016. And this is my first year being a Song Contest Director. I feel like it's a new journey for me. I've been really stressing out because time flies so fast. It's been kind of a struggle, but my passion for being a Song Contest Director really helps me, and I'm really motivated to see my class explore new talents that they have. And so that's what keeps me going, and it really makes me happy to see my classmates enjoying what they're doing and doing what I love. Being a freshman, it's really hard to go through everything by yourself, so you have a lot of support from a lot of the people who have experienced all of these experiences before, and so I actually had a chance to go and meet with Mr. Sabalos and Zach. Mr. Sabalos is really inclined in his musical talents, and he knows how to just give it to you straight. And Zach gives you some of his experiences to help you cope with the trials and tribulations of song contests. And so I'm really hoping that they can help me get through my really tough times for song contests and prepare me more.
Better.
Yeah, I feel more confident, but
I know it's the first time for you. This will be the first time for everybody too.
yeah, like, does it ever get easier?
Yeah, definitely. Freshman is the hardest. You know, everybody just came from middle school, and everybody's, you know, not really understanding what this whole thing's about. But, you know, come that night, that first song contest night for you guys are gonna realize, like, oh, this is what it's about. How do you feel leadership-wise, though? It's different, right? It's something that you don't expect. That's why, right? You think song contest, Hawaiian
more
music,
like, more. I feel like it didn't really like strike me like, hey, you have to like be a leader too. Like just like, hey, I know how to read music and
you can wave your hands.
Wave your hands, but like, what are you gonna do when like a person just comes up to you and just says something and like take it the wrong way? You have to like lead them. So
yeah,
it's all a learning process, but
exactly.
You gotta just extract the best out of them. You know, with this music tempo, what is gonna bring out the most beauty in this?
And one of the ways that you can always is you get them by the music. You know exactly what you're doing musically.
why did you want to be a song contest director?
I just like Hawaiian music. That's always been my thing. So to be able to share that with my classmates was a really cool thing for me, because it's something that I love, and if I can give that to somebody else, if I can give that to my classmates, the people that I grew up with, then it is such a cool thing. It's a cool gift. Yeah, it's a cool thing to share with them.
What should I expect the day of?
You're always gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
If you're not nervous, then something's wrong with you. But what you gotta fall back on though is you gotta remember what you're supposed to do. And you know what you do? You learn all this music. And that's the reason why you do what you do. It has to be a passion. To be a song leader, you gotta want to be one.
If you think about it, you're one of 10 people in this whole world that can experience what you're experiencing. You know what I mean? And that's a cool thing. That's a cool thing because the sound that is produced by your classmates, you cannot, nobody else makes that kind of sound. There's a certain thing about it.
The goodness of the taro is judged by the young plant it produces. The condition of the aina impacts the health and well-being of the people. To sustain ourselves as Hawaiians in our own homeland, we can apply the timeless wisdom of our ancestors to enrich our everyday lives. I've opened my ears to ho'olohe to both akumu and haumāna to answer questions like, so how good is the kalo today? And will the plants of tomorrow carry our lahui forward?
Sustainability basically is the ability to endure. Our kupuna were the best examples of that. They traveled thousands of miles back and forth across the Pacific Ocean. They created these large fish ponds which produce so much food, these very meticulous and vast agricultural systems. So to me, sustainability is for us as Kanaka to help to restore that, finding that ike and putting it into use.
Your connection to all your ancestors, your identity, is a key to the future. Ho'opaipai means using our resources in different ways, in different methods, so that we could strive for the better. And if we can use what we can from the aina, then we'd be better off, being sustainable back to the land.
My teaching position here at Kamehameha that I recently took on is a cultural resource teacher specializing in Hawaiian food preparation. So it goes beyond more than just preparing the ai or preparing the food. We also try to use the food preparation as a medium for teaching different aspects of our culture. different values such as ho'okipa or hospitality, and ho'oponopono as well too. Yeah, we also must remember to do good work, you know, with clean hands. So it's important to teach those three aspects with the food preparation we have here. So in regards to sustainability, with each ai that we produce, it's a strong point of mine to teach them, you know, where that ai comes from. So, you know, we worked down at Keiki. I showed them a little bit about taro cultivation, showing them how to grow it, how to harvest, how to plant, how to prepare it, and then how to eat it. The etiquette associated with eating is very important.
Learning these practices made me want to learn, makes me want to teach as well.
Yeah, I really wanted to create their relationship of Halua Nakalau Kapalili and Halua the Kanaka, yeah. Where upperclassmen work with our underclassmen. And, you know, try to create that relationship where, you know, some of our upperclassmen know how to ku'iai, they teach our underclassmen all of their, you know, their little nuances and secrets to creating that good ai. So, and that goes beyond just creating poi, you know, those relationships carry on. I like to say that we're creating Ka'iwa Kilomoku as a kipuka, yeah? A place where they can come and learn all of these native things and then have them go back to their own communities and do the same. And just see more of these cultural kipuka keep popping up, more huli being planted all over the place. So that's kind of my goal. My hope is that I help to support that and just help this place grow.
A tree provides food, provides shelter, just like how we do. We go to the ocean, or we go up Mocha, big mountain apple, o'opu, catch o'opu from the streams, and provide for our family. Plants, they provide for the people of Hawaii. Same as us, we provide for makua, kupuna. We provide for the older generations and for our younger siblings as well.
I asked Kumukolana if he can show us one example of a recipe that we can create from things we've harvested from our own gardens. Aloha Kumu.
Aloha e Kumukolana.
Hey, aloha e nā haumāna. Pehe olua.
Mai ka'i.
Pehe oi.
I'm a bit pauahana. Would you guys like to kokua?
Hi. What are you doing today?
I'm preparing this ho'i'o that I just picked from the stream. Could you help me out?
Yeah. Ho'i'o, don't you mean pohole?
It's also called pohole, but specifically to the island of Maui. Everywhere else in Hawaii, we call it ho'i'o.
Oh, okay. So what do you want me to do with this?
Usually, there's some oho that grow right along. I've already gone ahead and cleaned it, but I want you to double check, okay?
And then after, you want me to oki it?
Ke olu olu.
Oh, okay.
Kaimana, why don't you help me mix together some of the ingredients?
Sure, Kumu. What's first?
We'll start off with our ohi alomi, or our tomatoes. They're nice and juicy.
Put some extra then.
Yeah. Alrighty, looks good. And then some aka'akai, or sweet Maui onion. Yeah, nice layer right on top. There we go. Okay. I like to support our local farmers, so stay strictly Maui. Okay. And then some opai.
My favorite.
Yeah, some dry shrimp. That's some nice protein to our diet. You're growing, boy, you need it. Okay, that looks good. And then maybe some sesame oil.
Does it matter how much I put, Kumu?
Everything's kind of in moderation. Yeah, we don't want to drown out the taste of the rest of the items. Yeah. And then finally, our world famous inomona and pa'akai.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's nice and toasty. So give it a nice layer right on the top. Spread it evenly. There we go. Yeah. We don't want to have too much though, right, guys? We all know what happens. Yeah. And then, of course, some pa'akai. Yeah, I'm gonna put a nice dash in. Spread some right on top. Yeah, mahalo.
I think I'm pa with the ho'i'o.
Oh, awesome. Mahalo nui.
Oh, it looks so good. So next we're just gonna lomi them up?
Yeah.
Oh, that sure looks ono, Kumu.
He ono no, ke momoni aku.
Oh, our ho'okipa are sure in for a treat tonight.
A'oia. E pū pa'akai kākou.
Aloha
no.
What we've learned today is that life is full circle. If we mālama haloa, haloa will mālama us. And hopefully one day kalo will not only nourish our body, but also our na'au. I olo no Keiki no I ka ma'ona o ko opu. I maʻona no ka opu I ke aloha o ka makua. E pū paʻakai kākou me ka mahalo. Ua loaʻa hoʻi a kākou kaʻai a me ke aloha. A mama, ua noa.
Hi, my name is Ka'ua and I love to dance. Hula is my passion and I started dancing when I was about 4 years old. I always dreamed of growing up to be a dancer. Now that I'm a senior and it's only a couple months away until I graduate, I'm starting to wonder if that's what I should pursue. Dancing isn't just a hobby for me, it's my life. I've been looking into different colleges, but I really don't know what I should do. Some of my friends already have it all planned out. There must be a way to be successful financially so that I may support myself and loved ones while still being an artist. Business is a scary thing though. There's so much responsibility, so much things to learn about. Right now I'm going to Kaiwa Kilomoku. I'm gonna go talk to Kumula'au, who is a native Hawaiian artist, for his advice.
The most important thing for young Hawaiian entrepreneurs is that, when they create a product, we cannot be moloa in what we do. If we want to achieve a certain end result, then we really have to work for it. It's as authentic as it can be, that the thing that they produce will bring not only pride to our people, but for the buyer. It's very important that the consumer also feels the aloha that went into the creating, the crafting of the product, and that when they receive it and they purchase it, that they have much aloha for it as well, that they would also malama and take care of it. Our people is very talented in all different areas, whether it's in hula, whether it's in language, music, material culture. And so our kupuna are very skilled and knowledgeable people and excelled in those type of arts as well. So as today, the keepers of the culture, our generation today and the future generation of Hawaiian people, going into business, we have a lot to offer, not only to our Hawaiian community, but to the global community. A lot of people love Hawaii, not only for who we are as a people, but for the things that we do and the things that we can produce. And then one day, our haumāna will become the experts themselves, and then the next generation will be looking for them for advice, for direction.
I never really thought about it that way. I never realized that my passion for hula could also be a way to make an impact in the future. There are some other students on campus who I heard were already thinking about their future. They are part of a new entrepreneur club, and I think they really mean business.
The head librarian, Mrs. Fujimoto, she actually started the club, and she felt that it was really important, especially for high school students, to get involved in entrepreneurship and to get out in the community, because after high school, we're the ones driving the economy. Well, as a club, we have events where we go out into the community and we sell our products. And we had our first event at the Royal Hawaiian, and it was a good turnout. We all did pretty well. We all made some profit. And the Royal Hawaiian, they really helped us a lot. They put out tables for us, and they made us look really good, and they had entertainment, and that brought even more foot traffic. So it was awesome.
Do you plan to go into business in college?
Business in college is definitely an option for me. I'm still not decided yet. I'm undecided.
If Lilia has some doubts about business, how can I know for sure I'm heading in the right direction? Is it possible to balance hula and business? I think I know the perfect person to ask this question. I decided to pay a visit to Kumuhula Manu Boyd, who also happens to be the cultural director of the Royal Hawaiian Center, one of the largest shopping centers located in the heart of Waikiki.
When I graduated from Kamehameha, I had no idea what I was going to do. When I was growing up, I actually had a job for many years as a paper boy. I delivered the Honolulu Star Bulletin, which was the former newspaper. So the idea of business was kind of fostered early. I had to fold newspapers. My hands were always black with the ink from that. I had to deliver them after school. So I think not so much on the economical end of business was I really focused in on that time, but the responsibility of needing to do a job that had to get done well and get done on time. And I've always been, I guess from my earlier training, I've always been employed full-time. So hula and music has been something I've done separately, although again here today it does again have a really nice overlap. Over time, music and hula have become more than hobbies. I consider myself a performing artist as a musician and as a kumuhula. They are also a way of life. So I don't handle them separately from my job per se. I think there are benefits to the business world by having background in entertainment. I think the Hawaiian is intuitive and is innately talented and gifted oftentimes. And so you have many Hawaiian artists, singers, dancers, chanters, fine artists who are able to kind of coexist between their jobs that really can provide sustenance and sustainability for the family. When I talk to haumāna today about career choices, I try to have them think about not just their own career choice, but how their choice will impact other people. If you want to become a mechanic, you know that you're going to fix people's cars. So instead of thinking about you as the mechanic, think about all the people you're going to be serving. As a reminder from our poʻekupuna, and from our ancestors and our elders even today, that we always have to have a sense of community. You can go for it and be motivated for your own personal goals and career, but always bear in mind that what you do impacts others, and try to just keep an eye on that so that you know that you will be doing well, not only for yourself, but for your community.
These worries and questions that I've had don't seem overwhelming now. Our kupuna were entrepreneurs. They took the risk of voyaging across the seas and could thrive in extreme conditions through their creativity and ingenuity. Looking at things today, it's really no different. Balancing a career in culture and arts gives me the opportunity to contribute to our lahui, as well as make a profit that can one day sustain my family.
There's a quote that comes to mind, and it's that if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. You need to prepare. You're preparing right now for when Pauahi needs you. You're preparing for the time when the school is in danger again, because it will happen again. Each generation had its crisis. And so we knew strongly deep inside that we were also preparing for our time, our turn, so that we wouldn't repeat the mistakes of the past.
It is said that good leaders use the lessons of history and commit to bold strategies to create positive change. Often those epic changes start with quiet personal decisions to take the initiative to act because it's the right thing to do. Ku'epono helped me to learn these skills, which we executed both in and out of the classroom.
The events of the 1990s at Kamehameha and our school edging towards the cliff. If you saw the controversy from the point of view of the newspapers, you saw all the big corrupt issues, the trustees that were, getting $1 million salaries and tampering with all sorts of things in the life of the school. For me, centrally, what we went through was, what is a good school? What is the best Kamehameha for young Hawaiians? And what kinds of leadership models do we need to put in place to get there? Lili Okalani said ku'epono during the turmoil of the overthrow. It was so difficult and so confusing and so chaotic, and a lot of young Hawaiians were very, very angry. In her response, and she said, "E ku'epono kako." Let us resist appropriately. Ku'e means to stand differently. You're thinking differently about important issues, but you're thinking for yourself.
Ku'epono is the kind of class that you get what you put in, and this class is something that you have to have the passion for, you have to have the drive. This class is a lot different from other classes just because of the topics that we cover and the depth of the conversations that we have. The feeling of this class is something that you won't experience in other classes because you actually get to speak your mind on different issues. You get to speak on how you feel, and society today, we don't get to do that as much.
As a Kanaka Maoli, we learned that it is our kuleana, a word that denotes both privilege and responsibility, to be able to enrich our lahui. I met with an alumni who is actively taking these steps.
Aloha mai, my name is Kalihauala Ki Govea. I am from Pukalani, Maui.
Essentially, what got you into politics?
Well, it happened about a year ago. I learned to find out that my grandmother's place where she was born and raised was going to be put up for auction. And so one day my brother and I met with my grandmother. We looked up these different tax papers and these map keys to kind of familiarize ourselves with the kind of situation we're dealing with. And in doing so, the result was it's just a lot of confusion and a really stressful process. Who could I ask? Who could have helped me with this situation? Who could be here to help illuminate some of these answers that could possibly come from this type of pilikia? There were a couple groups. I tried to call them and try to schedule an appointment. It wasn't possible. And for me right there at that point, it ignited a passion within me to be, I want to be that person that'll be here to study law and to study these type of politics to eventually help not just recover my aina kupuna, but also to be there for other Native Hawaiians so they'll have somebody to turn to one day.
When you're making decisions regarding to politics, what serves as your North Star or your moral compass in helping you make the right decisions?
I think what a lot of problems with us that we start to face right now is we start to forget our history. We were always industrious people, brilliant people, and it's not just referring to the excellent craftsmanship of farming, fishing, excellent scientists, but also at the time when Palapala started to be formed. The Hawaiian Kingdom had one of the highest literacy rates, so this is nothing new to us. Our kupuna were reading stories about William Shakespeare, Tarzan, the Count of Monte Cristo. All of these amazing stories were translated in Hawaiian. As we go along, we forget how brilliant of a people we are, so we need to be reminded of that. So in ourselves, we feel confident. There's a lot of stories that we read and mo'olelo and history that tells us that what kind of brilliant people that we are. There are many examples in the past. A lot of things that we have to realize is that those people, they laid the foundation for us. But then where are the modern day kamakaus going to be? Where are the modern day malos? Where are the modern day papai'is? Where are the modern day poipois? Because at the time when they're writing a lot of these stories down, they're literally calling out to the generations that they'll never see. They're calling out to the 2010, the 2020 generations. Will our Keiki be able to understand what we're writing right now? Will they find the importance of it?
Technology makes me think of cell phones, computers, and Facebook. But the term technology also refers to ways people create systems, tools, and crafts to solve problems. So if you really think about it, our ancestors have always been technologically savvy. Whether fashioning sturdy ko'i, designing complex irrigation systems for lo'ikalo, or creating vibrant dyes for kapa, our kupuna expertly tapped into the technology of their time. Today, Kamehameha Publishing and Oiwi TV are two examples of weaving that same island ingenuity with modern technology to preserve and share our culture.
O kumukahi, he mau lako ia no kia'o ana I ka mo'omeheu a me ka ʻolelo Hawai'i. Aia ia mau lako ma ka punai wele pune honua, ano laila he mea loa wale o kumukahi ia'o ai. Mana ano hola like ʻole, mana ano wahi like ʻole a pau, mana wahi a pau e loa ana ke kuʻina punai wele puni honua, loa ana o kumukahi ia'o ai. Ua koho ia e kau ia o kumukahi ma ka punai wele puni honua, ano ka mea Maupopo ia kako he ao e hana keia. O ka hanauna hou o ke au nā pulapula hoi ke ho'opa'a nei ka ike ma ka punai wele, ke ha'ani nei ma ka punai wele, ke launa nei ma ka punai wele, ke huli nei I ka ike ma ka punai wele, a ia hana aku ma ka punai wele, a me nā ano mea uila like ʻole. Ano laila, Wana o mākou he kūpono ia wahi no ke a'o ana ia mau mea o ka mo'omeheu a me ka ʻolelo Hawai'i. E hana make ano ho'ona nea ia lākou. Ke kahi mea nani o kumukahi, o ia ho'i nā wikio e nina wele ana I nā loea I ke Hawai'i mai oa o Hawai'i pai aina. He mau mea ku'una ia a ka he mau mea o ke a'o ke kahi. Ano ka mea mau no ka waiwai o kia ike ku'una ia kākou. He mo ha'awina ko loko, ale kākou e kāpā, e malama kākou, e pūlama ia, e ho'olaha ia. No leila, he pili no ki mo ha'awina ia kākou I kia ao. E ho ke kahi, O ka ʻenehana hou o ke ao, he kohu wa'a ia e ho'opili ana ia kākou kekahi a e ho'oholo ana ia kākou I mua me ko kākou kuana ike, a me ko kākou mau ʻano, a me ka ike, a me na hana kuʻuna ho'oholo ana I mua. No leila, he wahi maikaʻi kēia e ho'omahuahua ia I ia kākou iho.
Yeah, ʻOle TV is honored to have been asked to be the communications partner for the worldwide voyage for Hokulea. It's a 3-year, 45,000 nautical mile, 21 countries, over 60 ports. It's a massive endeavor with the mission of Malama Honua. Our role in this voyage is to provide the communications from the canoe out to the rest of the world. Hokulea is going to have a videographer on board the whole way, and Hikianalia, the escort boat, is going to have a photographer and editor on board. The photographers will be shooting and sending their media over from Hokulea to Hikianalia via long-range Wi-Fi. It's like they're in the same office together, but they're really a mile apart. On Hikianalia, we'll be managing all that media, cleaning it up. So here we're going to have our edit bay connected to the sat phone uplink. The routers, all of that stuff is going to be here, sending all of the data back to ʻOle TV. Where we'll then distribute it out to social media, traditional media. People are going to want to stay in touch. They can be a part of it. It's critical that Hokulea engage with the global audience to really get the message of the mission and vision of this voyage out to the global community. Storytelling is nothing new for our people. It's how we carried our genealogy. It's how we maintained our traditions. So we're finding new technologies and looking for new ways to engage an audience, to perpetuate our culture, strengthen our language, and affect positive change for the communities around us. When we were first asked to be a part of the voyage, it was all about theory. It was all about how we could execute and pull it off. As we've gotten closer to the actual sail, and anxiety has really ramped up. A traditional sailing canoe, moving media, doing all these types of things, it's risky, but we all feel this kuleana to be a part of this voyage. No matter how daunting of a task, how scary it is, the anxieties that we have about it, it's like we have to do it. One of the core beliefs is this idea that Hawaiian knowledge and Hawaiian perspective is relevant in a modern context, that we're not just a museum piece, we're not just something that you preserve in history. Traditional knowledge can serve as a guide to look to the past to solve the problems for the future. I mean, just look at Hokulea and this idea of open ocean, non-instrument navigation. Our ancestors were the astronauts of their time. They were scientists, they were explorers, and we need to share those messages, we need to share those stories, and the way that happens is to share the stories of Hokulea, to use technology to tell those stories, and this voyage is going to be the prime vehicle to make all of that happen.
Technology is more than just a cell phone that fits in your pocket. It is a significant Hawaiian tradition. Creating different ways to communicate information to each other and across the vast Pacific defines who we are as Polynesians.
I love filmmaking. I've been filming since I was in 7th grade.
Video plays a great role in my life because I like to capture the moments.
I really do like creating videos and making the idea really behind the video.
My favorite part about making videos is being able to make a story.
You can share your stories. You can do so much with filmmaking. If it's a documentary, you learn all these stories from different people. If it's like a movie, you're trying to tell a message. I really like it because it inspires and it creates and gives people ideas, changes viewpoints. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I love creating something that other people would enjoy because I enjoy watching a performance. And filmmaking is another way of performing arts.
It's given me so much. It's given me friends, happiness, some way to express myself, and that's why I do it. I love video. It's who I am. I'm a video geek, and I am so proud of it.
this project gives me an opportunity to have people really see what students can do.
It's a way that we can showcase our talents, our voices, our minds, and artistic ability.
Well, it's kind of professional, so it also look good on like college resumes and stuff.
I like that they let the students have a voice in this project and they get to put a lot of say into it.
Instantly we thought, how are we going to try and convey this message, because we wanted to connect this to the children, because the theme of this year's song contest is, you know, songs for children.
What better way to do it than from a student's perspective?
There's more to Kamehameha than what meets the eye. And with this pre-show, we can show more of Kamehameha as a school in depth.
We all have to work together to create a bigger project.
Planning, storyboarding, filming things around school.
I think it's a big step from learning in the classroom environment to filming for something that's going to be shown on TV.
Well, I know that a lot of people wouldn't mind being on TV. It's gonna be on TV. Oh my god, I love that TV. And it seems fun. Well, it's fun, but it's been kind of hard so far.
We try to have as much fun as we possibly can while staying in the range of actually working and getting things done.
I think the hardest part of production was creating the story, planning it, knowing what to film, actually everything.
I had a lot of problems focusing on my life while I was doing this because I was so worried about what was going to happen and when it was going to happen. Oh, it's just so stressful.
Good project to be working on, but then you have to learn time management.
I need to find time to get my shots.
The hardest part of production was probably setting up the interviews. It's kind of hard to come up with certain questions because it can just ramble on.
I think the only thing I didn't like was the planning part of it.
I never like planning. Because you can't really do anything if you don't have a plan.
It was really cool to come out with something like challenging like this. You really find out who you are. It was just like an amazing experience. So
it was challenging, but it was totally worth it. I got closer to my crew, and then we learned a lot about the different perspectives we have on campus, not only from Kumu, but from haumāna as well. So I definitely love that we had the opportunity to do this because I met wonderful people and I learned a lot of stuff.
I got to learn a lot more about our school. I feel like I was able to connect this now to my own life.
Now that we have a medium such as video productions, to have Hawaiian students here at a Hawaiian school learning how to use those and honing those technological skills, it's really important.
Because video and films are so, readily available, the world can see it easier now, and it's really important, I think, for Hawaiians to become internationally known. We're actually a people with a great history and a colorful history, and, we're worthy of being recognized.
And I guess it's like pride, because you're representing Hawaiians as a whole.
We can showcase who we are really as a Hawaiian people instead of what society makes us out to be.
I am just so humbled by this experience because it's showing me that it's hard, it's hard to raise yourself as a Hawaiian in an industry like this, but it is definitely possible, and to be given a chance like this, it's a true blessing.
That's my mana'o. Aloha hui ho.